Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the Galaxy Battles wild card matchup here. One of these two teams will advance on to the main event, which is set to take place in just a couple of days from now. That is the Galaxy Battles tournament. So looking forward to seeing which of these two teams do advance on to the main event here in what is a best out of three. I am BreakyCPK, going to be your host throughout this series today. And should be a good one again with so much on the line after all. So, first things first, again, the Galaxy Battles tournament that's going to be happening, the LAN event that's going to be taking place this weekend. It's obviously going to be in the Philippines. There's been a lot of talk around this event for good and bad reasons, frankly, but ultimately the event is happening, and obviously some great competition is going to be there. 7 teams are already there, going to be competing. We needed one more team essentially to fill it out, and thus why this wild card match is actually happening right now. So the two teams that are going to be playing here are two teams that frankly you may not know too much about, and I'm going to do my best to let you know a little bit about them. These two teams, we are looking at Skyville versus PG.Barracx are the two squads going at it. Simply put, I don't really know much about these teams. So there you go. That's my information. But all I really know is that Skyville, they're actually from the Philippines, so kind of a home team in a sense. And PG.Barracx, they are a squad from Indonesia, actually. So these two teams, actually, they had to win an 8-team tournament called the New Blood Championships 2017, which actually took place way back in October, sure enough. So a couple of months, 2+ months ago. It was a smaller event in the Southeast Asia region, specific, a $25,000 prize pool. But again, these two teams, the top 2 teams from that event, and thus why they are here. So that's kind of just a recap once again, as far as what this event is and what we are looking at with this series. So, again, don't really know what to expect as far as favorites go. I will say, looking back at that New Blood Championships, that Skyville did get the better of PG.Barracx 3-0 in that best-of-5 series that was actually. So they did defeat them there, but again, that was 2.5+ months ago. The game has obviously changed in a lot of ways. I can't even say for certain if this is the 100% same roster by any means. So there you go. All right, that's pretty much all the information that I have for you. Again, looking at the Wikipedia site right there, the great resource that it is. All right, the drafts are well underway, though, so let's start taking a closer look, see what we're dealing with. We have the bands initially. We have a Night Stalker, Tiny, and Nyx Assassin band coming out. We have a Razor, Earth Spirit, and Brewmaster on the other side. The first pick went to the Omni Knight, Doom, Rubik. Pretty good responses there. And now the Shadow Shaman for PG.Barracx. So the draft so far, Omni Knight first pick. Not that it's a bad first pick by any means, but it does set you up to be countered of sorts, and we obviously see that coming out from Skyville. Again, both Doom and Rubik are definitely considered stronger heroes against an Omni Knight for obvious reasons. Doom, his ultimate, really just a fantastic counter, of course, as long as he can get it off against him. And then Rubik, the fact that he can steal. Really, any ability that he steals, he's fairly happy with. From the Purification to the Repel to, of course, the Guardian Angel even when it comes to these team fights. So yeah, definitely 2 strong heroes to match up against the Omni Knight. 2 just solid heroes in general as well. But yeah, the Shadow Shaman from PG.Barracx as well. As far as their support goes, team support options out of the way, we see the next tier of bands happening. Dragonite into the Lycan so far. And now one more on either side before it ultimately advances on. Yeah, so initially I was under the impression that this tournament, or not this tournament, but this match here, this wildcard match, was going to be taking place actually tomorrow. But I don't know if it was a reschedule or if there was some misinformation there. But it turns out, here it is. So I was caught off guard a little bit when getting prepared and going into this match. So again, do apologize that I don't have the most information necessarily to give you guys. I am looking at the Galaxy Battle Tournament itself also. For what it's worth, the brackets, at least on Wikipedia, are up. And the winner of this series will move on to play Evil Geniuses, actually, in the main event. That is the Galaxy Battles tournament. Obviously, no matter what, I mean, it's going to be a very, very tough challenge for whichever of these two teams has advance on. It is a double elimination tournament, though. So, again, there's ultimately 8 teams that'll be in the main event. Double elimination tournament. And, again, I'm not 100% sure on the prize pool. As of right now, it's still suggesting that it's going to be a $500 to $1,000 prize pool for 8 teams. That is a pretty ridiculous amount of money. And, again, this is a hell of an opportunity for these two teams especially. So, really there's a lot on the line, is safe to say, for these two squads that don't necessarily get the most opportunity to compete at such a high level and against such great competition at what will be the main event. Faceless Void going to be the third pick for Skyville. Yeah, the Clockwork and Tinkerbands, by the way. Tinkerband, and the crowd goes wild. Faceless Void, strong option. Whether or not it's, I'll lean more towards the safe lane. Faceless Void, I mean, I guess Doom could definitely be a position 4 as well, but if I had to guess, Faceless Void safe lane, Doom in the off lane, and still looking for that position 4 and mid. But again, could swap things around pending what they're looking at. But yeah, Faceless Void is always a strong hero. Obviously, the Chronosphere, yet another tool that you catch Omni-Knight in there, can obviously cause issue. Tusk is going to be the fairly quick response from the Dire team, meanwhile.
5 seconds remaining.
And that's going to be their position 4 and roaming hero. Pretty good synergy with the idea of a Shadow Shaman as far as looking for kills throughout the map. Back over to Skyville, a hero that can take advantage of Chronospheres. Puck's just decent synergy in general, the Dreamcoil setups. And it also, the Puck pick there, it really makes this draft, so much could still happen, right? Like, we could see anything from a safe lane Faceless Void to a mid Puck, to a Faceless Void off lane, to a mid Puck, to an off lane Puck, to a Faceless Void. Like, we could see all of these different options. So it really is making it somewhat difficult for PG.Barracx to kind of respond. And if anything, that's why I ultimately do like the Puck pick. And if anything, it's also giving Skyville options. Maybe they're just not content on what they exactly want to run yet, and they have the option to now adjust with their final pick if need be. They're not really, it's not like that Chaos Knight. It's not like, okay, they got Chaos Knight, it's going to be safe lane. Pretty obvious stuff here. Terrorblade, however, is going to be the response as for now. So PG.Barracx definitely going for a pretty hefty 4-1 strategy of sorts. We'll see what their mid hero ultimately ends up being, but I'm guessing it's going to be one that'll tend to be a bit more active in the earlier game, something like a Queen of Pain perhaps, and allow Terrorblade to farm and then ultimately let him take over the game when need be right here. So that would have to be my guess as far as what we may expect to see. So if you're banning for Skyville, something like a quad ban wouldn't be the worst ever. Let's see, anything else that really comes to mind? I mean, there's always a Medusa scare, but Medusa feels a little too greedy for the lineup of PG.Barracx. They go for the Death Prophet ban. Could see that as well. That would have fit the pushing theme, especially. You got the Rasta support, of course, and Metaform of Terrorblade. These objectives could have been going pretty damn quickly. I do see people bringing up in chat, they may be under the assumption that the, I guess there's a Mineski match going on right now. I believe that is on the Beyond the Summit 2 stream, if I am not mistaken. So you can head on over there if you like to watch that tournament match, but why would you? When you have Skyville versus PG.Barracx, this is a wild card tournament match, man. This is to see who goes on to the main event, the big land that's going to be happening this weekend. And, of course, you have yours truly, BreakyCPK casting. I mean, why the hell would you turn the stream off? Elder Titan. What? That was really out of left field. Maybe that really does just go to the draft of Skyville, though. PG.Barracx is almost assuming that that's going to be, they may want to draft a position 4 with their final pick, and I'm not sold on that. I think if anything, it's going to be a position 4 Doom with one of the cores as the final option, most likely. But again, we'll see what they're the most comfortable with.
Team pick.
It's going to be a Viper final pick for PG.Barracx. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to say the name, by the way. I believe that's, I'm going to go ahead and say that's how you say it, but I don't know. That's what I've been saying it, at least. Barracx. I'm sure it stands for something.
10 seconds remaining.
All right, so Skyville now. Again, what option did they run with here? But yeah, Viper final pick for the Dire team. Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's definitely, again, the idea that buying some time for Terrorblade to be able to farm and eventually take over the game in need be, so you can group up with Viper, or even he can assist in some ganks earlier on. Perhaps something like that Forest Snap into the eventual Hurricane Pike, depending on the direction that he wants to go. Could even go more of the defensive style, something like a pipe even, and really try to push objectives with the team. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that, see what he decides to progress with throughout the game.
Choose your hero.
Okay, it's going to be a Jakiro final pick. So I guess, I mean, I don't really. Let's see what Liquipedia has for the players, and who is going to be. So Jail's on the Jakiro. Okay, Jail's their position 5 player, from what I'm looking at. F-King's their position 4. So it is going to be the offlane Doom with Faceless Void, yeah, in the safe lane, and JG in the mid lane, of course. Okay. So, I mean, that makes sense. But they sure enough, they do go with a support option as their final pick. I mean, Liquid Fire's a pretty strong tool this game. Maybe they wanted some counter push as well with a Macro Pyre. They already had some okay with the puck, especially, but Macro Pyre good for that. It's kind of an interesting direction there to finish off with a main support as your final pick, but confident with the Jakiro. All right, here we go. Game number 1. Again, definitely, I got to imagine these two teams have to be so excited right now. And obviously, only one of them is going to advance onto the main event. But this has to be the biggest match that these guys have ever played with. So, I've kind of, obviously, I was joking around a little bit earlier as far as, why would you watch this match? I mean, again, it's going to be a great matchup, I'm sure. And really keeping that in mind, I think, is the biggest thing. This is just true passionate Dota right here. Such a big opportunity for these two teams. And we'll see. Only one can move on against Skyville. They won the first meeting between these two, but that was about 2.5 months ago. So anything can happen. All right, lanes are setting up, though. It is going to be the off-lane Omni Knight. Viper, of course, will end up in the mid lane.
30 seconds.
We got Tusk and Rasta right now up at the top lane. Looking to babysit the Terrorblade, perhaps go for the top boundary rune area. And yeah, Skyville, of course, the team from the Philippines themselves, so they got, kind of working off the home team advantage, and would love, I'm sure, to be able to help represent the region, at least, at the main event. Of course, TNC is also going to be there, and let's just say they're a little more established when it comes down to it. Rasta doing the mid block. Oh, wow. Haven't seen that in forever, man. Puck TPing to the middle lane to block a little bit at the last second. I have not seen a TP use middle lane in a while, it feels like. We used to see it before they put that nerf on it, obviously, with the initial use of it. I believe it's like, what, 10 seconds longer after the rune spawn. All right, so Jakiro right now is babysitting the Doom at the top lane. Puts the pressure onto Shadow Shaman, but out comes the Ice Shards. Gonna trap up Dune of sorts. Shackles are put out. Terrorblade assisting with that Metaform. A couple more auto attacks. One more. He gets it off. It is gonna be enough. I heard the salve. I believe it got taken off, though. The last second, and Rams playing the Terrorblade will get credit for the first blood. So, obviously, good coordination there. And they ultimately make it happen. Now there's the Shackles. They want to still make use of this Metaform, and they're gonna get a second kill. Jakiro's dead. Well played. It ends up being a double kill for the Terrorblade. Metaform still has a little bit more time left on, about 15 seconds or so. But very good use of the first Metaform right off the bat here in the laning phase. Just like that, up 2-0. So yeah, if you're Jakiro, I don't know. Does he come back to the top lane? When Metaform's down, I guess they should feel a lot more confident. But in a couple minutes from now, again, going to be back up. That Tusk Rasta combination still pretty scary. And it's not like Jakiro especially, a very slow-moving support, doesn't have an escape by any means. Even if he levels up Ice Path at level 1, it's only a 1 second stun right there, very, very minimal. So I don't know. If I'm Jakiro, I would really be hesitant on sticking at the top lane at this point. Oh, well played by Tusk, by the way. Saw that there. The Ice Shard's blocking off the bounty rune. He actually steals theirs. And then he goes back and grabs his own. So we have a really fast start for this Dire team, especially with what's going on at the top lane. Meanwhile, though, the middle lane, Viper versus a Puck. Puck currently 10-5. Viper 5-3. Then you have bottom lane matchup. Faceless Void 12-5 against the 5-0 Omni Knight. Of course, Faceless does have the Rubik here supporting him at the bottom side. I'm just going to run after Rubik. Does not have his repel just yet. Going the Purification and the 1 point into Degener early on. Whoop, that's a kill top lane. Rasta goes down. Wow, Doom Jakiro find Rasta. Meanwhile, middle lane, Viper will go down now. Back to the top lane. Jakiro, he's still trying to survive. Infernal Blade put up on a Rams here, playing the Terra Blade. He has Metaform in 20 seconds, still a little bit of time, so he'll just fall back to the creep wave. Liquid Fire's on him. Plenty of regen, though. But yeah, meanwhile, middle lane, Viper going down as well. It looks like they got some assistance there. No, that was a solo kill. Wow. Really? Level 4 solo kill. Jeez. For the Puck. No Drain Coil, of course. Viper does have 2 points in Corrosive Skin as well. How the hell did he manage that? That must have been a kill. I got to imagine Viper was diving right there. Faceless Void, though, he's going to have a really fast start. The Ring of Aquila's coming. We'll see what kind of build he decides to go this game. Doom, by the way, back at the top lane. Centaur Stomp. And he stole right there. Or devoured, even. He'll use that to just walk off with a Scorched Earth as well. So, yeah, as the levels start adding up, obviously it's going to be a little more difficult to get these kills, but the Metaform active Terra Plague going to put some damage into the tower meanwhile. Middle lane. Ooh, Puck's here with a double damage rune. Obviously, you got a solo kill earlier, and ooh, that Viper, he needs to be very careful to not die again. One more auto attack, I think he could get the kill. Right? Like, he has 330 life. Luceria Orb in. Auto attack, Waning Rift. I don't think that's good. I mean, diving the tower is obviously very risky. But if he lets him get another auto attack off. Meanwhile, back to the top lane. All right, what am I talking about? Rubik, he's running in. Once again, Van will throw down the stomp. He'll be fine. Rubik lifts him over the shards. That being Tusk. And now trying to run back in for the kill. Scorched Earth put down, running after. Infernal Blade auto attack is going to not go off, however. Tusk, good job juking to the trees, going the other direction. And probably going to be the end of him, although the salve is going to reach him plenty of life for Tusk. Eventually going to be taken off, however. And he will not have enough mana for anything else, but he is pretty fast. He does have boots. And he's outrunning everyone else for the time being. If anything, this is space created, and actually Tusk is going to ultimately survive, it seems like, unless Puck is going to cut him off. Puck is very low, by the way. Wow, now he's going this way. He does have a TP. 1 more second. Use it. He's good. Great escape right there by the Tusk. Manages to escape. He even delays time a little bit in the middle lane as Puck went over to help and try to finish off the kill. So, very, very good escape. Taking a bit of time off. As Doom will prevent Rasta from having an effective double pull. Faceless Void, he's going in. We've got the bash proc. Always lucky. Rubik's going to try to help. Omni Knight realizing that. Running to the right, and he's fine. He has level 2 Degener, so yeah, that's slowing down the Faceless Void more than enough.
The tide. Fortune's change.
Is this Rubik's model? No, that's Puck's. Okay. I just saw him in his inventory for a second. The hell? Ooh, smoke from Tusk and Rasta. Wrapping around in the middle lane. Meanwhile, Invis on Rubik. This could get interesting. Dream Coil's ready. Viper, he's the one in trouble for sure to start. Okay, they're going to go right here, but in the flank, they got to be careful of that Corrosive Skin, man. Level 3. It is making him such a tank. Puck realizing it's a trap. and he's going to go forward with the illusory orb. However, gets caught by the ice shards, and it's a trap once again. The shackle's coming out. There's no chance that he's getting away. Is there a phase shift? That ain't going to be enough. He'll fall. You just saw how beefy this Viper was, though. That's why I'm so shocked he died earlier solo to the puck, but he easily survives right there. And obviously having to be great timing by the supports of the dire side. Right place, right time with the use of that smoke. They managed to back up the middle lane and keep their 3-2 lead now.
Radiant's middle tower
Doom,
is
top
under
lane.
attack.
Rosto, Shackle's coming out. Tuska's here as well. There's a shard. Oh, not the best block, though. If he blocks him in the middle of that, perhaps, but no chance. With him on the other side. Bottom lane, Omnidot's going to fall. Chronosphere, yeah. Looks like that was a Chronosphere used. Obviously, Puck assisting. Make sure that kill happens bottom. Rubik pouring into the top lane, wants to prevent this push as much as possible. As the snowball coming through, Rubik, one more auto tech, no, he's going to survive against the illusion, actually. Doom running after the real Terrorblade with the metaform, puts a stop up in the midst of 3 heroes. The lift, and eventually gets a kill on Terrorblade. Big kill, actually, for the Radiant side. Of course, and they could get more. Ice Path connects on both. Tusk, he's going to fall. Double kill coming out for Van. Omni-Knight is now here. Purification Hill, the zap. It's not enough damage, though. The auto attack's not enough. That Scorcher barely keeping him alive. The Regen's just enough for now. Doom, though, he's still running. That Degenaro's going to start kicking in. And eventually another thwack. No, it's still not enough damage. He needs to get a heal off. The Ice Path connects. And Van is actually going to survive on Doom. Great getaway. We've seen a couple of fantastic getaways from either side of this game. And he just kept on running, man. And eventually able to make it out of there. So Omni-Knight ultimately just a little bit late to the party. And cannot even get the kill when it's all said and done. Bottom lane, Terrorblade, he's just going to harass Faceless a little bit. Yeah, overall, Faceless Void right now, 3,600 net worth. You do see Ring of Aquila finish the power treads on top of that. And there's our answer, at least for now. The Mask of Madness is going to be the build of choice on Faceless Void. And I definitely like that. You really need that fast item, right? At least that's one play style you could go. You could go more greedy route, you know, even like the Hannah Midas and the Yasha, and the Manta, etc. But I do feel like the Mask of Madness, especially early on, is the go-to choice here this game. You have a Terrorblade on the other side. Now it's going to want a bit of time to farm. Even the Viper to an extent. He's trying to finish his own power treads here, but again, also depending on what direction he goes. Will he choose to also be a little bit more greedier? Something like the Maelstrom, perhaps, or then there's the other routes, like I mentioned earlier. The pipe build could be interesting. I'm still waiting to see the Helm of the Dominator again. That'd be fun. Or, of course, the Hurricane Pike. Obviously, bottom lane, meanwhile, Tusk going down. No Chronosphere needed. Just plenty of team support. He does have a Chronosphere now.
Dire's structures are fortified.
As Rasta's going to come in, throw out an Ether Shock. Just trying to delay this push as much as possible. He is only level 4. So no wards to use just yet. Terrorblade, what are we looking at him? Drums is going to be the early build on Terrorblade. All right. Terrorblade going to build more for some early potential fighting. And again, drums in general really is just a popular item so much lately. Speaking of that, the Radiant side, is there anyone? I mean, I guess it would have to be Doom, right? Yeah. He's going to try to finish Phase Boots here. He already has the Bracer, though. So wouldn't be surprised to see drums on Doom.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Puck. He's fine. Tusk was also setting up for a possible gank, but
Dire are
with just the
scanning.
Viper, no way they're going to make that happen. Dreamcrawl is ready on Puck, and you see the top lane coming to the mid, and that's actually Faceless Void up here. Nobody's currently at the top lane, funny enough. But they want to kill this Viper. They should be able to. There's a Dreamcrawl. They have a Chronosphere. He's going to pop it. Trying to get Tusk as well. The Ice Shards. It's going to delay a little bit of time as far as damage goes. They even need to do all the ultimates coming out. And they will indeed kill Viper. Hell, they better kill Viper at that rate. But you know what? This early on in the game, ultimates are there to use. And you kill one of the other cores, I think it's very worth it. Obviously, if that was the support, like the Rasta, then yeah, different story. But that was a decently farmed Viper. By all means worth it. Meanwhile, Snowball in. It's just the Tusk for now. Metaphor for Terrorblade not going to be activated just yet. They kill Tusk. as he went way too deep right there by
Radiant's top
himself.
tower is under
And
attack.
yeah, it's a good thing that Terrorblade did not pop the meta for him, because that would have been worthless. But yeah, it's one of those unfortunate cases. Like, but without it, they're not getting a kill either. So that was something they probably should have thought out a little bit more. And by them, I mean the Tusk. In the meantime, Jakiro was trying to pick up a little bit more farm himself. He hits level 6. No Macropyre just yet, though.
Mine.
Going to get another point into the Liquid Fire. As there's the drums picked up on Doom now. He actually chooses that over the full phase boots. And there's a Blink Dagger on a Puck, who actually has an Arcane Rune active with a Dream Coil ready to go. So expect to see him look to be pretty active soon. Mask of Madness on Faceless Void, beating down the top tier 1. Here come the TPs, though. No Chronosphere for 60 seconds. Doom doesn't have his ultimate also for about a minute. So Omni Knight, he's going in. I heard the snowball going off. Just want to check middle real quickly. There's a snowball, and it's just an Omni Knight Tusk. There's no way you're killing either one of these heroes. So they're going to TP to the bottom lane. Middle tower goes down, and now bottom lane, Dream Coil catches a couple. Remember, that's that Arcane Read as well. Doom running in again. No Chronosphere or Doom ultimate, but Viper, he's going to stand his ground, actually. The roster was also put down. Doom popping the drums. Van running away. The shackles stopped pretty quickly there. Guess by the silence. And actually, they'll just beat down the Rasta wards now. Puck, he wants to chase. Is he going to be able to catch with the Rasta? Don't think so. Again, no more Dream Coil to use. Going to be broken. Going to be heartbroken. Could he get that kill? Or can he get the kill? Oh, it's just not enough, but they will finish him. The finish with the Ice Shard stolen by Rubik. So the heart comes back together. Puck is just okay. Nice chase there on a Rasta, and now they're going to push bottom lane. This is a very good movement from Skyville. They're flowing together very nicely right now. And it's what they need to be doing. Again, against the Terrorblade, who is going drums, funny enough. So obviously he's a little bit more willing to fight earlier on in the game. But both him and the Viper even, they would prefer some more sitting back and farming. Hell, even the Omni Knight, who, all right, we are going to see Helm of the Dominator. How about that? How about that? Helm of the Dominator coming out by Omni Knight. Definitely would not. You know, if anything, I was thinking maybe the Viper. And that's something we've definitely seen in the past. Obviously, that item's changed so much, though. But, I mean, Helm of the Dominator really is just a... It's almost like a fascinating item to me, because there's some that just highly value, some teams and players especially, that will highly value it because of the team presence that it brings, all the aura, and the fact that they've taken over the neutral creep. And then there's others that'll just say it's dog shit, frankly. So, clearly in this case, Omni Knight likes it, and I guess my only gripe with this game is that I see it as more of a helping to further your lead early on item than I do as a trying to recover item, I guess. So the fact that Omni Knight went that instead of, hell, even the drums, maybe a little bit more on the unfortunate side. But anyways, who cares what I think? We got a lot of ultimates ready to go. Big fight perhaps coming out. Viper going to be lifted in. There's a Chronosphere. No, we got hexed. He almost canceled it, it looked like initially. Dream Coil does hit 3. Chronosphere still ready to go. There we go. The Omni Knight, meanwhile, he's doomed up, so he's not going to do a damn thing. He's basically a walk-in range creep. That's in panic mode right now. Rasta goes down. Tusk, he's going to end up falling. The stumble will barely save for the time being, but it's just going to delay the inevitable. Viper trying to stand his ground. At least go for the trickle, so I'm taking it with me. Not even close. JG Innocence on the Puck secures the kill, and you pretty much almost saw that coming. But again, that's the idea of the draft from Skyville. The first pick, Omni Knight, they responded immediately with the Doom, and boy did it pay off right there in that fight. Without that Doom up on Omni Knight, that fight could go completely different. The Guardian Angel, the Repel, it could definitely change a lot. So, well played. And this Radiant side now 5,000 net worth lead. You have a 7,200 net worth farm on Faceless Void right now, who's actually going to be going the Lincolns. Okay. How's the Lincolns this game? I mean, yeah, Lincoln, I like it. Kinda. I don't know. It feels a little weird. It's one of those games where there's not a lot of single target abilities, but the few ones that are there, they're definitely pretty strong, so yeah. I think the Lincoln's actually pretty good. Oh, Rasta, he's dead. Macropyre helps to bring in Rubik. He's down to the reflection, but oh, did he steal the wards? He sure did. He stole the wards as Rasta threw down his, and you got to be so careful about that if you're Rasta, because Rasta not only just gave away his wards, but then he just died right after as well, and he loses all of them. not the best to use, but yeah, if you're going to use your wards, you got to make sure to Ether Shock or something. And there's a Defiance now on Viper, so it goes back to what I was mentioning earlier. See, this... Again, not suggesting this is wrong by any means, but with where we're at in this game, if they were the team that was ahead 6,000 net worth right now and, you know, pushing towers, then this whole Hooded Defiance, the early Helm of the Dominator, the you know, the eventual pipe, the drums on Terrorblade, that's where it really would seem like it would be, you know, very good ideas. But especially with the way this game has been going here and just kind of naturally with their lineup, they probably needed to be a little bit more greedier, because if they try to play the same game of the mid-game victory here that Skyville's playing, it doesn't seem like it's going to connect the best. And Skyville's going to try to keep forcing the issue, as they should. Obviously, all the ultimates, once again, ready to go. Omni Knight, ooh, he could be the target. They do see the Alpha Wolf in the area. Not going to go for the jump, though. The Faceless Void will come out middle lane, and everyone else does as well, so. Ooh, Puck is setting up. Villa Discord now finished.
Dire's structures are fortified.
So this tier 2 middle tower. Not much chance. Ribbit going to lift up the Omni Knight. They're going to burst him down, aren't they? The Doom's applied. That should finish the job. Infernal Blade. Okay, he gets denied, so. One of those, yay, you know, a golf clap there for Viper, but then you realize, well, that's just means now he's dead, and they're just going to push into the tier 3 tower. There's the Rasta wards from Rubik. Throws them down. And going to deal plenty of damage. Remember, they still have their big ultis, Chronosphere and Dreamcoil, ready to go. You do see Terrorblade at least split pushing top lane as with the Rasta, so they get the top tier 2. And I guess, if anything, that's probably the best response that the Star team could ask for. Again, it goes back to their strategy, what they need to be doing. It's really that. Avoid fights at all costs right now. And as I say that, they smoke up, and they're looking for a fight. They are hunting. Puck actually has a haste rune out bottled up. He, too, is also going the Lincoln's route. So let's see Faceless Void. Yeah, he's just about finished. So they're going to have a couple of Lincolns. It is going to be strong this game. Again, you have Rasta with a couple of his abilities. Particularly 3 of his abilities. You have Viper with the ultimate, and that's, unless I'm missing something. Oh, Sunder, too. Yeah, so, yeah, Lincoln Sphere is actually really good now. Thinking about it more. Puck, hasting in. He sees Tusk, and is like, all right, time to get out.
Time is money.
They push at least a tier 1, but now Skyville, they're porting back. Again, you got to be careful. Clumped up here. Metaform currently active, of course, for Terrorblade, about half duration through. And they'll fall back for the time being. This is game number 1, guys, as always. For those that may not know, watching Dota 2, any competitive match, tournament match, there's these little pips right here on either side of the teams. It's also on the draft screen, and they're currently not filled in, which means this is game number 1. When a team wins a game, it fills in with a yellow bright circle. Why did I say that? It's definitely not a circle. I'm American. I'm sorry. A rectangle of sorts. It fills in the freaking gap there, and it notifies you of which team then has a game victory. If it's a best of 3, there will be 2 on either side. If it's a best of 5, there will be 3 on either side for the obvious reasons of you need 2 to win and 3 to win in the respective cases. All right, so again, the point is this is game number 1. Viper throwing down the Nether Toxin, just again trying to keep them out of their base. Rubik doesn't still have Roswars, doesn't he? No, he's Conjure Image now. Okay. That could be kind of interesting, actually. Yeah, he's just making illusions of himself and trying to bait them out, I guess. You see Puck, Grassin, lift up on a Viper. Remember, they haven't really gotten involved in a fight yet where Omni Knight's been able to cast abilities, so you got to be a little careful going too crazy if you're Sky. But don't feel like that this game is won because of how well you've dominated so far. Because if you don't get that initial lockdown on Omni Knight, Guardian Angel comes out, the repel on one of the cores, and all of a sudden the fight becomes a lot more difficult. But they do definitely the smart decision. They do not have the Aegis or anything like that, so they They back off from tier 3. They get well, what do I say? They got the tier 3. They back off. They kill a shrine. And they're just going to keep falling back from there. So, again, don't want to take too much time sitting back, but perhaps some next tier of items as Faceless Void. He's going to continue the defensive theme, looking to go the BKB route, which obviously will also be a great item pickup. Just got to be careful overdoing the defensive side of things. And this isn't a team that screams the most physical damage necessarily. As they may find one. Drums popped. Oh, who's finding who? Tusk? Well, he avoids the ice path, but the Drink Hole Snap, that'll hit. There's a shrine, but it's like, do I use it? Do I waste it? Last worst case, he would die. Oh, he actually goes to the left. Well played, but the shard's stolen by F-King, and will finish the job. So, good job by Tusk, though, honestly. You know, when he's a lot of players in that case would panic and pop the shrine and hope to survive, and really, that would just delay it, and then all of a sudden your shrine's down for the duration. So, because yeah, I don't think he's living there if he pops that shrine.
Dire are scanning. Dire's top shrine is under attack.
They're scanning next to the tower, so they know somebody's there. And holy crap, this Rubik is farmed, by the way. Like, if he had an urn and a forest staff, that'd be fairly impressive in itself. But he has a blink on top of that at 23 minutes in. I mean, this is a position 4 Rubik, technically, but still. Oh, top lane, what are we going? Faceless Void, he's in trouble. Ice Path hits multiple. It's a Doom once again, an Omni Knight. So they could try to take a fight right now. They want to. Chronosphere's ready to go. He thought about casting it, but he decided no. Just a solo Tusk would not be worth it. So the Doom on Omni Knight gave them an opportunity to possibly turn the fight, but not everyone's here, including the puck getting here late, and Rubik is not here either, and he does not have a TP for 5 seconds. So I got this. Props to the Skyville team, honestly. They are so many top tier teams, even these tier 1 teams that we see all the time, will be so over aggressive. And yes, they do so many other things that are just better, and sometimes that does work out too, but as a caster, I find myself suggesting that whenever a silly fight takes place, it's like, well, they should have been more patient, or they should have backed off from there, you know, in hindsight. Skyville's being somewhat safe at points, and I think they're making the right decisions pretty much every single time so far. Because, yeah, I could see a lot of teams trying to go for that fight all of a sudden as soon as that Doom goes up and not working out still. But whether or not that's the actual right decision, I guess only time will tell. But I have honestly been fairly impressed with Skyville's play so far. And that's why they now have a 9,000 net worth lead. But don't let that fool you, because Terrorblade is still doing very well. 11,000 net worth himself, and Mantis down now finished. Working on that, I have Scotty. So once again, still a bit of time before he's going to be overall very scary, but he is getting there. And here comes our first Roshan of the game. It's going to be a pretty easy Roshan kill. And yeah, I like this decision for Faceless Void. That's what I was talking about earlier with the BKB. They don't have the most damage in these Chronospheres. And if he went BKB as well, then it would have even been less. So yeah, the idea of him going the Maelstrom, like that decision, he's going to try to build that into a full Mjolnir. And then even going back to the BKB after, I think is fine. Or it makes more sense. Omni Knight has an Aether Lens now finished. Pretty strong item on him, of course.
Top tower is under attack.
Extra range. Top lane, they're going to push in tier 2 tower up here, and it should be a pretty easy tower kill.
Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Is this the talent Vipers usually get? Interesting. I'm definitely not a Viper picker by any means, but I'm trying to think, like 100 attack range seems pretty strong, and I feel like as usually, you know, Viper core, that seems like what you'd usually get, but +6 corrosive skin stats. I mean, I could be completely wrong on this, and this is what every Viper in the world gets, and I'm looking like an idiot right now. But, and if that's the case, I guess I just never realized. but interesting. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm still learning the game.
Silence.
Aren't we all?
That should help.
Rubik working towards an Ags now. Man, if he... Yeah, the Ags is actually pretty good this game, too. Even if he steals, like, a Viper Strike, when he has the Ags, that's going to be pretty fun. Rasta Wards, as we saw earlier, will be that much stronger. And then also just, obviously, there's the frequency of the abilities once he gets the Axe, too, that he can use Spell Steal with.
Regeneration.
2 seconds. So, he has a lot of good choices this game as we've been over. All right, anyway, so bottom tower goes down. There's the Mjolnir finished on Faceless Void. So again, he has the Aegis. Wow, they're going to steal a stack of Ancients meanwhile. So the Radiant team, Skyville, perhaps the time has come to try to really break through. Again, the middle tier 3 is already dead.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Terrorblade still working on finishing that Eye of Scotty. Ooh, double damage rune, they see it too. It's going to be Faceless Void, I'm sure, picking it up.
Double damage.
Puck, it's Dagon time. Trying to build into that now, but don't really necessarily need that at this point. Ooh, this is a smoked play? No, they're not smoked, actually. Thought they were. They were moving, but not the case. Rubik, he's running into a bit of a trap
top
here.
Shrine is under attack.
He's going to need to fall back blink. Nope, didn't blink in time. Forest Staff. Going to lift an illusion. He's dead. Yeah, so Rubik all by himself down here. Not sure what that was about. That seemed a little odd, honestly. One of the first pretty... Well, not a huge misplay, I guess, but one of the first misplays that I've seen out of this Skyville team. Seemed like a little odd. Rubik all the way by himself while the rest of his team going to the top lane. But, honestly, again, they still have a 12,000 net worth lead, a very comfortable lead at that. And Faceless is going back to the BKB. Yeah, I like that option. Once again, especially once he gets the BKB with the Lincolns, he has Mjolnir for damage, the Mask of Madness. That's going to be the peak moment. That'll happen, you know, in the next around the 32, 33 minute mark. You have a BKB now on Doom, so he can also get in there more freely. Also looking to build an Axe himself. It's quite the luxury if he can manage to get that.
Radiant are scanning.
So Skyville actually, so as I was saying earlier, I've been fairly impressed by their backing off at points and making quick decisions. It seemed like played fairly defensive. Now I'm kind of wondering, are they overdoing it? This was my, I guess, worry when I said that was, were they going to get to a point where they're playing too defensive, right? Whoa, what a play by Rubik, by the way. He's making use of these ice shards, man. 3 seconds. Not in time. Oh, Puck will connect. Well placed right there. We can see that coming as a spectator, but Tusk, he had no clue. All of a sudden, the orb hits, and in goes the Waning Rift. Well played.
Silence.
So with Tusk dead, 35 seconds, he does have a buyback. Again, ultimate's ready to go. Cirque here on Faceless Void for the opportunity, and there we go. Perhaps that's it. Ice Path put down. There's the Chronosphere, but it did not catch the Omni. I think that's what Faceless Void was hoping for. Yeah, if it catches the Omni, I think it commits for a kill. But it missed the Omni Knife, so he decides to fall back. Oh, man. I mean... yeah, I think they're getting to a point where they're maybe starting to play a little scared again. There's a lot on the line for these guys. This is a huge opportunity for these two teams, and that seemed like Skyville was now, I think ultimately that was the right decision, sure, but just the way it played out initially seemed a little, you could tell they were somewhat scared. And frankly, you know, they have to be careful with that because, again, the longer this game goes on, Terrorblade can eventually be able to finish that eye of Scotty, and that's especially when he starts to become much more significant. Viper does have the S and Y picked up now. Rubik, they're going to find him first. Puck, he's TPing in. Rubik's dying pretty quickly, though. He's going to manage to survive for now. Purification Heal coming out. Will save for the time being, and now Puck, the drink hole landing on 3. Rasta's actually melting in the midst of this. Puck already getting away, though, and nobody manages to die in that engagement. Metaform, of course, active from the Terrorblade. Rubik, again, he stole the Purification, so that was him healing up himself. Chronosphere obviously not ready, but 3 more seconds and will be. He could get a good angle right here. Hex up onto him. There's that Chronosphere. Catches a couple. Includes the Terrorblade on top of the Macropire. Out comes the Guardian Angel, but the magic damage is so intense. However, Faceless Void not doing much. Oh, the Lincoln Sphere. He tried to go for the center to stay alive, but the Lincoln Sphere was not removed yet. He needed somebody else to take that off. They did not. Viper goes down as well. And all of a sudden, everyone is dead on the Dire side. What a fight there for Skyville. And the patience is going to pay off when it's all said and done. They're going to push now towards the middle lane. Omni and Rasta do not have buybacks. There's the Tusk buyback. And you would hate to have to buy back on your cores, but honestly, I don't think they... No, they're going to have to save the second set of racks for sure. Puck, he wants to kill Tusk. Oh, that's a dieback. Oh, no, that's the worst case scenario now. You die back. Viper now buys back to try to be a little bit of a threat. But that's easily the middle racks gone, the bottom racks. It's also going to fall here. Perhaps melee. Let's drop it. Faceless Void going to the top route. So that's decision time now for the Dire team. Looking to go bottom. Reflections coming. Terrorblade, Sunder, another 10 seconds. And Skyville, not surprisingly, is going to fall back. Man, saw that Chronosphere coming. Well played there by Cirque. Did he even use the BKB? He did, yeah, that's right. He had it up, and we saw the Sunder attempt go out, but I heard the pop. I thought the Sunder was going to be big, but then you hear the pop. And all of a sudden, Terrorblade still is dead. That's got to be such a shitty feeling, too, if you're a Terrorblade. You're like, oh, Sunder, it's going to be a big Sunder. You'll go back to full life, and then you just, the pop, the blue animation comes out, and you're still at 10% life. It's like, ah, crap. Don't chase us, guys. Oh, is it going to be enough damage? Puck. Phase shift. He gets out. Well played. Chronosphere coming out now. It catches the Omni because he walks back into a Tranquil on top of that. Omni-Knight's going to be bursting down. Down goes Rasta. Viper in the midst of it. Still on the Tranquil. Not going to take the snap, but it doesn't freaking matter. Too much damage, especially from the Faceless Void. Double kill for him. You just see Doom trying to survive on the backline. Scorch is up. Metaform activated with the illusions. Coming out from Terrorblade. He does have a Sunder. He's going to be silent self, though. Can he get the Sunder off? No, he goes down. Triple kill for Faceless Void. Well played and called by the Radiant side. They're feeling good, and they should be. It's another complete wipeout, and there's the GGs. I was going to say, this could be the final push, and sure enough it is. Skyville will take game number 1 here in this best-of-3 series, the wild card match. Winner moves on to the main event of the Galaxy Battles LAN that is set to start this weekend in the Philippines. Skyville, congratulations to them taking the first game, but again, still work to be done. I gotta say though, and I'm not trying to oversell them. I'm really not. I understand that these guys. I mean, you look at their rankings now. I mean, these are some solid players on either side. Frankly, obviously all Divine 5 players, and when it comes to TMM here, hell, he's even a top 100 player on the other side, and well, almost all Divine 5. Anyways, the point is, I'm definitely not trying to oversell these guys. Just more so trying to you know. Again, it's there's so many of us that watch this game that will love to even just get the opportunity to be able to compete at a high level. And these two teams, these 5 players on either side, are playing for a chance of a lifetime, frankly. Knowing that, you know, when they do get in, yeah, they're probably not going to match up the best against the teams that are there at the main event. But hey, you got to start somewhere, just even get in there. It's going to be a huge opportunity for these guys. And Skyville, They are looking like a team on a mission, and they are up 1-0 now in this best-of-3. So, ladies and gentlemen, game number 2 going to be coming up. Once again, I am BreakyCPK. Stay tuned. The wild card match continues here for the Galaxy Battles. Game number 2. We'll be right back.